Hello everyone. This workshop is about harmony and we'll show scales and chord structure, and I think it'll be helpful to people who are not aware of all of this, how it works, and to teachers possibly. So here we go. Now the major scale, we'll take C because it's easy, no sharps or flats. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. That's how it goes. So because of the tuning on a guitar, standard tuning, you can play it in different positions. So the first position, and you can play it in the third position, and you can extend it. Or you can play it in eighth position. Now the thing about the actual formula of a major scale is very easy. We're starting on C, and a tone from C, a tone is 2 frets, so that is a tone. This would be a half a tone or a semitone. So it goes tone, tone, semitone, tone, tone, semitone. Sorry, I'll do that again. From C to D is a tone, D to E is a tone, E to F is a semitone, F to G is a tone, G to A is a tone, A to B is a tone, and B to C is a semitone. So it's tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. That formula you can use and work out any scale. So if you start with G, then it'll be the same. Tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. So now from the major scale, if you play the first note, the third note, and the fifth note, that is your major chord. So usually you play C like that, or like that. And basically that's only the 3 notes plus an octave and another octave and an octave below, and so on. So your major chord is C, E, and G. Right? Now, I've got this chart here where you've got the tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone on the top. The top line is your scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. The second line is the same scale, but starting on the third note, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. So that is basically your first harmony. Your first, your normal scale is, do you want a friend to sing harmony with you? He or she would sing, so it would sound like this. Then I added a G underneath. So you can see C, E, and G as that's your C major chord. D, F, and A, that's actually D minor chord. E minor, F major, G major, B minor flat 5, and C major. So that is three-part harmony. That would be but if you invert the chords so that you've got the root at the top, then it'll sound better. It'll sound like this. That's basically, well, very basic harmony. Okay, so once again, you've got your normal C scale at the top, your harmony from the third note E, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, the same series of notes but starting on E and ending on E, and likewise from the fifth note G, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So basically you've harmonized your scale. Okay, now you get different chords based on C, such as C sixths. So all that means is you count 6 in the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Your sixth note is an A, so you have to add A to the chord. Or there, got your sixth note at the top. So then you've got C major seventh, which is a B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's your C major seventh. You can play there, etc. Right? Then you've got C seventh. Now C seventh is different to C major seventh. C major seventh has the seventh note of the major scale. C seventh has a B flat instead of a B, so you lower the flat, you lower the B to B flat to get the seventh, so C seventh. Okay, all of this is written down here, and we will take a pic of this and put it in the comments so that you have a reference if you need it. Right, so C seventh, then you get C ninth. So you'll count 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is a D. So that would be. But you can have an optional seventh with the ninth, which is more jazzy and bluesy. You can play it like that or like that. Alright. Then you can have chords like C seventh, augmented fifth. Augmented fifth basically means you take the fifth note and raise it from G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to G sharp. So that will be your augmented chord. But if you have a seventh augmented chord, that'll be your C seventh. You can play like that and add your augmented fifth on top. Same with A. You can play A like that, A major, A seventh augmented fifth. Same there. then you can have C7 flat 5. So that's your 5, your flat 5 is there. So then you'll have this chord. There's your 7th, there's your 2 C's, and there's your flat 5. You could also play it as a 9th flat 5 like that, or a 9th augmented 5 like that, right? Then if we look at the major, C, E, and G, how does that compare to a minor? All you do is you lower the third note. So instead of C, E, and G, you'll have C, E flat, and G, right? So that is essentially your difference between a major and a minor. It's just to lower the third note of the major scale from E flat, E to E flat. Right? Now, what is a diminished chord? A diminished chord is very fascinating and interesting to me anyway, because there's basically only 3 of them. Because the next one would be the same as the first one. Very interesting, because here, this one can be called after any of the notes you're pressing here. So it could be called E flat diminished, or A diminished, or C diminished, or G flat, or F sharp diminished. It's all the same chord. That's why there's only 3, because you'll see now. Now the next one would be E, B flat, C sharp, or G diminished. The next one will be F, B, D, or A flat diminished. But this one will be F sharp, C, E flat, A, which is the same as this. E flat, A, C, F sharp, just in a different order. Those are all the same chord, different inversions. Okay? So how to get to your diminished from a major to a minor is just dropping the third note from E to E flat. With a diminished, what you're doing is you're dropping the third note, which is the minor note, and you're dropping the 5th note, which is G, to F sharp or G flat. So, and then you add a 6th. So that's basically the relationship between a major, a minor, and a diminished. Okay? So these are all interesting things for me, because you learn how intimately chords are connected or related. So you can then learn different voicings of the chord, especially of chords, especially if you play fingerstyle. So for instance, if you take this chord progression, C, A7, D7, G7, you could, instead of playing the root bass each time, which is C, A, D, G, you could do this. C sharp for the A, and this will be an A9 without an actual A, and then D minor and G augmented So instead of playing, I could play. And yeah, I find these things fascinating because if you see how A and A7, all you do is add a B flat to get B diminished. So you go. So for me, this is how I learnt about chords, and I didn't buy Alfred's chord dictionary of 4,253 chords and memorize each one. I actually worked them out like this, and it just helped me understand how they arrive at the names. C, C6, C major 7th, C7th, C7th, augmented 5th, C7th, all of that stuff. It made me understand why they're called these names, and diminished, how it relates to the minor and the major, etc. That's all helped me because a friend, um, I was chatting to a friend long ago when in the early days I was just playing a couple of years, and he mentioned F ninth, and I said, what's F ninth? And he said, it's just F and then you add the ninth note, so you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and you'll find that's a G note, and you add that to your chord. So I thought, wow. So what I then did was I bought sheet music of really complicated jazz pieces and worked out each chord for myself rather than go and consult the chord dictionary and just memorize the shape. I wanted to understand how they arrive at that name, why it's called whatever it's called. So that's what I did. So I hope you find this helpful in some way. I'm going to do a second workshop continuing on this theme, um, and it'll be about the diminished chord, how it works, what you can do with it, and the 7th flat 9th chord, and how similar it is to a diminished chord and how it's different from a diminished chord. So I'll just show you briefly. That's your diminished chord, like I said. Now, what is a 7 flat 9? 7 flat 9 is just like a diminished, but it's a 5-note chord instead of a 4-note chord like a diminished. So E7 can be played like this, or it can be played like that. Your 9th note would be an F sharp, or flat 9 would be an F. So that's just like F diminished, because if you take that down, but you've got an E bass of an F diminished, that's a 7 flat 9. And it behaves very much like the diminished in that you can move it up every 3 frets, it's the same. So that's going to be the next, the part 2 of this workshop on basic harmony and chord structure. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed it. And in the next day or two, I'll be presenting part two. Thank you very much.